Hi and welcome to my channel Stars GB. My name's Kenny. Today we are going to be doing something a little bit different to what you're used to. We're not going to be playing with lights today. We're actually going to be playing with something else. As part of my show, I use small speakers to actually introduce the sound that we're going to be using. Up to now, I've been using a small Lynx shower speaker. Great because it's meant for watery environments, which as you can imagine, when things are living outside for a while, that's going to get wet. But in my travels today, I found one of these, so I'll bring it into shot. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. Let's see, make sure it's in focus. And yeah, I've been looking at something similar for a while, but it was going to probably involve lots of fabrication and finding marine speakers and a few other bits and pieces. But found this on LIDL. So yeah, it was quite cheap. It's IPX4 rated, which makes it water resistant. I think the official spiel when it comes to IPX4 is it resists water splashes from all directions. But yeah, let's open it up and have a look. Try and do this without hitting the camera. So we have some destructions which are going to get thrown straight into the bin as usual. We've got some auxiliary input cables and USB charging cable because it actually has a built-in battery. And we'll take the unit out. Have a look. Put that to one side. So here we have it. It's made from, don't know if it's plastic molded or what really, to be honest with you. It's sounds quite hard. It's got a little grill on the front. It looks like the speaker itself is actually looks like it's rubber coated or something like that. Got the actual little door, so we've got an on-off switch. Get the USB port. Now I'm not sure if that's just charging or if it's actually it can do some communication through that. Not sure. Got an auxiliary input, which is great for me. That's what I'm probably going to be using. But as per usual, I can't leave things alone. I've got to explore it, got to find out. Say it's I don't want to be using the inputs like this because we've got exposed components, which then basically means it's not IP rated at all. So I'm going to have a look inside, see what makes it tick. Let's get some tools together. I'll bring you back in a minute. Right, so I've got the tools together I need. I forgot to say a minute ago, let's actually try it out. Let's see what it does. I'm not charged it up or anything, but let's find out. Let's see. Oh, light comes on, makes a little ding dong. Now this actually sounds, that little tune that it just made sounds very similar to the other Bluetooth speaker, so I'm assuming it's probably going to be quite a standard little chip that's in there, or a little receiver device. Let's play some music through it. Let's see what we can do. This is my wife's phone, so it's music isn't the usual place. Right, Bluetooth. So I've turned Bluetooth on. Let's see if it finds it in pairs. So that's not that. That one there. There we go. Connected for audio. Turn the volume right down on it. I'm going to deafen everyone. There we go. Have the tendency of getting very physical. So watch your step, cause if I do, you need a miracle. You dream me dying, make me wonder why I'm even here. The double vision I was seeing is finally clear. You want to stay, but you know better. So that's about 50% volume, which is more than enough for what we're going to use it. So yeah, let's explore some more, will we? So let's switch it back off again. Let's get on with opening it up. There we go. So when it comes to things like this, I wouldn't recommend you opening anything up that's got mains power going into it. And I'm actually qualified to do so. But things like this that are low voltage, always have an Explorer. Just make sure you put things back out of the wire and you should work okay. So looking inside there, we have small speaker, got a battery, which is what it's actually running off of. It looks like the battery's got a built-in thermistor, or is that oh, that'll be a fuse. Basically what'll happen with that there is if the battery ever gets hot, that actual little fuse in there, it's a thermal fuse, so at a certain temperature that fuse will just go open circuit and it'll basically kill the battery. So if it's overcharging or it's over discharging, or if it's been left out in the sun for too long whilst running, that little fuse there will pop and it'll actually stop the unit from, you know, being able to catch fire. Yeah, let's explore it a little bit more. Let's see if we can see what the speaker is. So the speaker is a 4 ohm 5 watts, which is actually what it claims to be on the box. It does claim to be a 5 watt unit. So I'm assuming the electronics are going to be living inside this little box here. Let's see if we can get that out somehow and explore it some more. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's explore this. I had something fall out from behind. Let's come out this way. Oh, yeah, that does. It does. Okay. So here we have it. Let's move that screw out of the way. Right, so let's bring the magnifying glass in. Figure out where it is. Let me go hunting for my magnifying glass. I'll bring you back in a minute. Hi. So, right, I've gone and got my little magnifying glass. So let's start identifying some of these. So this one over here, this is definitely your Bluetooth receiver. I mean, it's got its little antenna attached to it. It's got its crystal oscillator attached to it. So this is basically what's doing the Bluetooth side of things. So this will be a standard chip. There'll be hundreds and there'll be thousands of them listed out there. CX. Yeah. They're not using most of the functions actually attached to this. So this will probably have some I/O attached to it as well. So during, you know, certain apps within your phone, might not just be a case of receiving audio, you might be able to do certain things with it. But on this instance, they're just using auto bind and straightforward audio. They're also using it as a single output audio as well. They've actually got both of the audio outputs on the chip actually connected together with a small capacitor. Instead of using it in stereo, it's just in mono. We have down here, we've got the regulator for the actual battery charger. So that'll be taking care of the power for the battery. We've got a little bind button over here, or power on. You've also got we've got the small LED, which is actually dual color, so I'm assuming maybe blue is for binding and on, and red is maybe battery low or something like that. We've got our audio in jack here for our auxiliary input. We have a reset button which will actually attach to the back of the actual auxiliary in connector. So if you want to reset, you'd have to put something all the way through. Possibly also to do with if you use a input jack that has 4 connectors or 3, instead of having your right, left, ground. You've got certain jacks that are actually right, left, microphone, ground. So it's possibly that'll reset the unit to let it know that it's got a different type of connector in it. Pardon me. Got just a little transistor down here, some other auxiliary components, some capacitors, some resistors. Got a little inductor over here with a diode behind it, possibly a Schottky diode to control your amplifier. You've got an electrolytic capacitor here, which is, if I can see what the numbers on it are, it's a 10 volts, so 70 ultra farad. We've got, this is the actual IC controlling the amplifier, which is, let me have a look, see what we've got. It's an MIX2 2910. That'll just be a standard little mono style amplifier. A lot of things will have these built in. Pretty much anything with a little speaker on will have something similar to that. You've got various different brands and outputs. You would normally not get an IC package that size over 8, maybe 10 watts at a push. So yeah, I'd say that's more than capable of 5 watts prolonged. Sorry, got bugs now. Prolonged exposure, it could probably do that quite nicely. So yeah, I mean, it's quite a nice little unit. Let's see the batteries over here. Let's see if we can get access and get the battery out and have a look at it in better detail. So what do we have there? Pardon the bugs. It's a bit warm in here, so I've got the doors open. So yeah, the actual battery itself will be pretty standard 1850 style battery, 18650, and it will probably have its own protection circuit built in. As we see, we do actually have a over temperature. So what will happen is when it gets a certain temperature, that'll go open circuit. Whether it's self-resetting, I don't know. I would thought probably yes, it'll be self-resetting, meaning once it actually cools down, it'll just reset and actually work straight off the bat again. Let's say we've got plenty of space inside the actual speaker itself. I'll try not to damage anything whilst we're looking. So probably what I'm going to end up doing is the actual circuit board for the unit will end up living inside the unit itself, and that way I can close this off, and I'll probably just have like a standard little plate going over here with some plastic or something, just a standard gland coming at the side, and a 12 volt and whatever the auxiliary cable going in. I might even go down the route of seeing if I could fit a Raspberry Pi inside there and actually use the audio straight from the Raspberry Pi going straight to the amplifier, and it would just be a case of power and Ethernet going in. But yeah, let's say thought I would just do a little bit of unboxing this. I'll start putting it back together. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I'll crack on with putting this back together. You don't need to see that. Please subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. I'll catch you on the next one. Hope you enjoy the slightly different content this time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.